Hey guys, Dante here and welcome back to another edition of Sunday night streaming on my channel, The Burger Thought. And I realize I'm competing with, my stream is right now competing with a live stream of a few of my favorite YouTubers who are Overly Sarcastic Production, who are basically just rambling on about various tropes in animation and film and whatnot. Film, animation, writing, while also doing a donation stream. So, if you're looking to donate somewhere, they are donating for Planned Parenthood. That's Overly Sarcastic Productions on YouTube. You can bounce over there, because frankly, they could use that donation more than I could probably use the viewership. But if you are looking for artwork, donate, come back here. But yeah, they're streaming now, so I'm like, ah, crud, I can't watch the stream as I do my own stream. But yeah, thank you for jumping in, guys. Thank you for everyone who might be seeing this video. We are just going to be doing some concept drawing. I have two things in mind. One is a product that I tried to do last summer, and then it didn't work. It was like an actual physical product, like a type of a toy I was hoping to like design and make and maybe even copyright. Or would it be patent? I guess in this case it'd be a patent on it. But I just couldn't get it to work. But I think now's a good time to jump back into it. But we're gonna not focus so much on the mechanics today, like we did last time for my Transformer figurine. We're gonna focus on like general design. Like if this was like a product back in the 80s, it's not just a toy; it's a cartoon to help you sell the toy. So we're gonna do some of that, and then we're also gonna do maybe some character design on my Choose Your Own Adventure story that I sometimes I visit once in a while. I'm slowly developing a Choose Your Own Adventure story, and I just throw stuff in there whenever I'm in the mood to like write in that particular style. The style being a very sarcastic and self-aware narrator who leads you through the journey. So I think those are the two things I'm kind of working on right now. So let's jump into something cool, kind of fantasy, not necessarily steampunky. We are going to work on a sword. It says, imagine a sci-fi world, if you will, in a typical vein of like early Ben 10 action protagonist kind of character. Somewhere between like Ben 10 and like Beyblade kind of stuff, where the main character is a young kid with a cool mechanical device that helps him do stuff over dramatically. In this case, it is a sword. It is a sword that is hooked up that essentially allows him to control like water. Like it shoots jets of water. It does big swipes of water, kind of like in Demon Slayer. But it's mechanical. It's like the main characters all run around with these Ghostbuster tanks while swinging these swords. That's kind of the idea. If it was a cartoon, the actual idea is this: I designed a sword that can best be used for like lobbing, I guess. And essentially it's a water gun built into a place sword with a foam edge so you can actually hit things with it. That the idea is that you can point it forward and from the tip it shoots water, and from the face, if you squeeze it, it splatters water. So like you can hit someone in the chest with the foam part of it, and it just boom soaks them like a super soaker does. And that was the idea. So I did a bunch of sketches of it, but I figured if it was going to be a show, like you have a bunch of kids running around with like Ghostbuster like backpacks with their weapons, hammers and swords and shields attached to them, just like, whacking stuff and blowing stuff away with like water power. Think Splatoon. It's like Splatoon, but melee, if that makes sense. More melee. So yeah, I'm just going to draw some weapons. Alright, as usual, we're going to start with a general sketch using some light blue. a bit too stubby. Let's go more for a scimitar. A bit thinner. Here we go. So it's like a really bulky scimitar. If that's the right word, I believe that's the right word. Where is my canvas size? Canvas properties. Change canvas size. Make that 6. A bit wider. I also did a little bit of editing to our OBS. I shrank down my window, my visual window, and my chat window. Try to narrow them. That way you have more of the middle for the drawing. So I'm gonna add like a little bit of like, I guess not so much steampunk, but it does have like valves and like it does have some steamy punk aspects because it's gonna need tubing and valves and things like that. So that is not the way the sword I wanted. It's curving too much. So the idea is you do pump it like an old school Super Soaker, and the pump is built into the hilt. So when if it's animated, it looks more like he's revving it, like a chainsaw. Originally I wanted like a long tube that then goes to a backpack, but construction of the toy itself, I'm not sure if you could build up enough pressure. Like I'm not sure if you could do the Super Soaker kind of thing if the water tank is in the back. I'm trying to make the prototype for it with like pieces, literally like I just bought a whole bunch of like cheap water guns, and I've been dissecting them, but the actual old school Super Soakers use what's known as a bladder. So when you pump a water gun today, what it does is that it's pushing air into that plastic water container, like pushing air into a plastic soda bottle, and that air that builds up in the water container is enough to shoot the water out. But Super Soakers had a second cartridge. You have the water container and that round ball at the end of it. It was water container, round ball, and then you had the whole like Super Soaker set up like this with the gun and everything, and the pump right here. Inside said ball here was a round rubber ball, a bladder that's like a balloon, just swelled it, which is what really made Super Soakers. But apparently a lot of them got recalled because they were just too powerful. You would pump and pump, and then like you shoot your eye out, kid, kind of situation. So in this case, I might design it where instead of a backpack, originally it was gonna be a backpack where the tube wiggles all the way out here, and then here's the backpack on you. Maybe I'll have the water container, like a small container built into the hilt, which I don't like. The weight is there. You're trying to swing something that has weight on it, but that'll come out. That'll be when I get to that part in the actual physical designing of it. Right now, we are just doing like visual like concepts. What would look cool? What would look cool, etc., etc. It's like a water. It was like a gun blade. One of my Final Fantasy gun blades. Was Final Fantasy the one that I kind of like made that mainstream? Like, was there anything else before that had that? I mean, I know in real life there actually were like knives that like doubled. They like it's an actual knife and it had a gun, like a revolver on it, but they were like really small snub revolvers. Like they didn't have a barrel, so you would stab the person and then like put a really small bullet into them. The actual blade has the water gun. I don't know if I'm gonna I'm not sure I'm gonna keep that nozzle at the end as pronounced. But that's that right there. And then here in the center. So mechanical wise, it took forever to find this. It's a 3-way valve. So physically, in real life, you have the whole water system built into this really thick sword. And then and then at the center of the blade, you would turn this nozzle, and it would change whether you're going to be shooting water out the tip or water from the front of the blade. So we're going to kind of have that here as well. So I have like it's funny, I have like a vague idea of what I want it to look like. Like I have like the energy behind it. Like I know like it's gonna be, it's gonna be playful. It's gonna be kind of American shonen, if you would. Like I said, kind of like Splatoon and Beyblade mixed together. Just like, yeah, we could do it kind of feel to it. But then I'm trying to actually like envision it, like how I want it to look. trying to even out the blade with the hilt and everything else. That's horrible. The water spout came out fine. That hilt came out horrible. Try this again. And once again, like, ideally, the original idea was like, I want it to have a water backpack. I mean, you know, and then you have like this, once again, kind of Ghostbuster cord going to the backpack. But to make that water pressure build up and work, just, the idea isn't like as feasible as I want it to be. Because if you don't have, essentially, if you don't have the what's it called? The water bladder, you have to pump a lot to get the air pressure all the way through the holes and into the backpack. So the other option is to put a small water container on the base of the sword, but that does also kind of work because you could, if I could shape it like your standard like round ball, so it's almost like a potion bottle. So the kids are like putting, it's alchemy. The kids are putting like alchemy bottles at the base of the water weapons and just shoot them like that. So that could work. I even have to sketch. Like, I looked up how to make freaking, I looked up, like, how to make Super Soakers in order to, like, figure out how the original mechanics worked. Yeah, so this is an action show. Put the water, you put the alchemy bottle at the end of the handle. You set directional. If you want to do like a forward blast or a swipe, just crank it and then pull it, and then the kid just pulls the trigger and boom, mechanical waterbender. Alchemic, you know, yeah, mechanical waterbender. Think alchemy in the way of the way it's shown, not in Fullmetal Alchemist, but more of what was that? Rapunzel. How the kid there was like a mechanic doing alchemy and stuff. I'm talking about Rapunzel, the series, by the way. Oh, it's an interesting series. I love the character design work in that. Like, there's a reason people still do fan art of the character Cassandra. There's a reason for it. You can't blame him. She was pretty. Yeah, if I could get like this kind of prototype to work, maybe, you know, I could pitch the idea to a toy company or something. Obviously, it has to go through all the safety issues and everything. But you know, if they want to pay, if they want to buy me for the, if they want to pay me out for the idea, I'm down for it. Okay, now we're gonna have some fun. Let's once again, we're going for like not steampunk, but it does run. It's aquatic punk, I guess. It's steampunk, but leaning more towards like the actual like water that runs through it. Gonna put some rivets. These are all rivets on this side. So we're gonna. And now we're just doing a bunch of like mechanical detail stuff. Like faux mechanics. Just to give it some look. I just need to do a hilt that is not my fault. I just need to do a hilt that's parallel to this damn thing. There. Is that so hard? Like I want the back to be straight, like straight on. Not actually curving like a scimitar, just a straight on back. It's like a machete scimitar. Why would you only select that single? I want this whole red line. You can't seem to select it all. Is there a way to change like the sensitivity on that? Color match 10. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Alright, let's fix that. Put like a bolt here in the front, just for like fun visual, right? What if this was like a bolt right here? And then the back is where we have our pump. Should it? No, let's keep it squarish. Like it's like a big ring, almost like a chain ring, I guess. That looks better. Save as. Nope. Into my regular art. I have no idea what to save this underneath. Let me just make a new folder. Call it sword A. Concept A. Save. No. Come on. Don't double click, just click enough that I can actually change the title of the folder. Water as in water weapons. Because part of me actually want to make like a Thor's hammer where when you pump it and when you hit someone with it, foam of course, when we have foam pressure, it either the hitting activates the pressure, or maybe you pull a trigger, and it just explodes into like water. So like Thor's hammer. I mean, you've seen probably the Thor's hammer toys where you squeeze them, and I mean, it's like a Nerf gun pretty much. You've probably seen those around. You know what? Why not keep that square? Nope. Like keep this square and use it for like I don't know what angle I'm looking at this from. Like everything's kind of weird. The top angle is a right angle. Let's do it this way. Barrel. That's the wrong one. Whoop, 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 whoop. There you go. I'm just going to combine all these layers. These are all sketch layers anyway. That way I can erase when I want to erase something. But yeah, it's a water gun weapon. It's a sword that, through the power of science, basically in a fictional world, creates like water typhoons and like giant jet streams. Now, as a regular toy product, it's just a sword that shoots water. This is obviously once again a more mechanical, steampunky-esque kind of vibe on it. But the original idea was like, what if you're LARPing? What if you're on stage performing a show, and when you strike someone with the sword itself makes the blood splatter. It's kind of like, it's like mixing paint gun with squibs, where the bullet is what makes the paint explode on you in a more theatrical sense. Man, that sun goes down quick. Like, when it's time for nighttime, it's time for nighttime. Yeah, so just kind of adding a weird mechanical detail. Kind of how the nozzle is, I wanted to do the rest like this too. Just fun mechanical detail. So look at my original sketch to give me ideas of how I want to approach this. Maybe. That's green. Let's go with some green. Okay. Like faux tubing. Like there's no reason for this tube right here. But I kind of want it. Let me do a quick search online. I guess sword handles. Cause I know like the threading on certain sword handles. Sword with a D. The threading, it can be really cool, especially if like samurai handles. Images. A lot of these are like, the first thing you type in, you're gonna get a lot of medieval swords. It's just metal handles. Kind of boring. So samurai swords have that diamond pattern because of the way they wrap the handle. Kind of want to see if I can blend those. I could blend that with something that's more English, more Western, if you want to call it that. There's also a fact that this sword is meant to be one-sided. So should I make the grip like that too? Like have a certain like a gun grip in a way. That is good. It's a painting. So I found one here. It looks like it's just like someone carved a spiral down a wooden handle, which is kind of cool. Ideas to try. So we could do a semi, because it does have the trigger on it. So we could do a semi samurai, but we're gonna kind of change where the triangles lay in the pattern, kind of like that. That way you can see where like the metal of it is, and where the fabric is, or the woven fabric, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, here's some good reference. Yeah, because a samurai sword, the flattest part is where you have the woven, the triangle pattern. That's not what I clicked. That's not the reference I clicked. Am I looking at that right? Yeah. So it'll be something like that. There we go. You know, if you think about it, it has kind of like a turtle, like a turtle shell kind of pattern. Which also works because, let's say these are not woven patterns. Let's say we're sticking with the mechanical. Then that makes these more like plates, which is also kind of cool. Okay. That's a big handle. That's a really big handle. Makes a sword like only that long. So I think we're going to adjust that as well. First I gotta select it. That's better. Like it's this big, like heavy hammer of a sword. How did that get erased? How did you get erased? Alright, so I think we have like a general idea, like a nice first concept of all the stuff that goes into this. Yeah, let's start doing some inking. Just gonna lower the opacity on that, lock it, hit save again. What the hell just happened? Sword A. Save. That is weird. Where are you, file? Crazy eyes. Where are you, file? The alphabetical. Save. Why is it saving twice? Am I misspelling something? It is very odd. It's very odd. It's saved in a weird way. What a time it is. Killer out here, people. Over here in the Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx, by like 10 o'clock this morning, it was horrible. There was no clouds or nothing. Just sun, sun, sun. And I was outside for that. Give me a second, guys. I actually want to go and... My screen went weird. Hey, give me a second. I'm going to go and clean. I'm going to go close my Venetian blinds. And while I do that, alrighty then. Now, I have a fan on me. I would love to have the window open and have a fan to air out this particular room I'm in. But I can't because someone decided, hey, it's Sunday night. Why not blast music all the way to like 10 o'clock at night? I don't know about you, but I work tomorrow. Anywho. Alright, let's get to it. Just doing the boring stuff, which is dropping in all the straight lines. Then we'll do adjustments afterwards by hand. That does look off. I'm not gonna go too crazy. Not gonna go too crazy. Lose my damn mind trying to figure this out. Arching tool. Also F4. So doot. So doot. Can we get the curve I want? Right about doot. Nice. Doot. Also the doot. Get the curve. Holy crap. Pretty much got it at one. Nice. Nice. Usually it'll take me like 20 attempts to get right. Getting better at this, people. Now that I said it, watch me jinx myself. This one's a bit weird. Alright. Alright. Project's coming along nicely. Let me clear my throat. No, let me actually Let me do some arranging here. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Is it object? It's always the wrong thing. I'm not sure if I move object, it only selects one layer. I want to do both layers. I'm trying to move both the sketch layer and the ink layer. I always forget which tool allows me to grab both and not just one. So it's not that object tool. Is it move layer? It's move layer. Even though it says layer, it should be layers. There we go. Still learning the program. Still learning that program. Drawing this is like, I don't know, I just got reinvigorated to work on this project. Actually, I have this bag in my house of just broken water gun parts when I first tried to make like a prototype, and it just wasn't working, and it kind of made me disheartened, and I stepped away from it. I stepped away from it rather than stick to my guns. Get it? So while after doing the sketches last weekend for that water gun transformer, it made me think, man, I should really get back to this. Like, design it, see what happens, man. You know, I'm not a. I don't want to call me, and I don't want to call myself the idea guy, because then it sounds like you don't do anything but sit there and go, I have an idea, you make it for me. No, I love making ideas. But I think I'm not a programmer. I'm not an engineer. That's the word. I'm not an engineer. So like, I have the idea, but then I struggle to actually make them come to fruition sometimes. Especially if it requires like knowledge of mechanics and water pressure and blah blah blah. If it's a sculpture, I can sculpt it. That's fine. I just need to focus. We all need to focus a bit more sometimes. Nope, don't. I always forget. Always forget that you have to double click it to make it not spin on you. Why is that volume still so loud for desktop? There we go. Really loud desktop volume. And that's like I can already see that one of the lines isn't quite lined up, as you say. But it will have to do for now. Yeah, this sword water gun definitely evokes like 90s toys. We're not too sure how safe they are for kids, but they're so cool. It definitely is meant to kind of evoke that. On that note, I was in a place. It's a place called Five Below. I don't know if how widespread that particular franchise is. Five Below, where everything's $5 or lower. On the general side, there are a few things that cost more than that. It is great for like simple stuff, arts and crafts stuff, cheap toys, whatever. And they had like the sock and boppers, those inflatable like punching toys. I did something wrong here. Yes, I did. Sorry, I got super distracted. I did this wrong. So anyway, yeah, Five Below. They had like the sock and bop 'em toys, and I was like, oh yeah, the sock and bop 'em toys, which is just like inflatable balloons you put in your hand, and of course, they're just punching bags. And I remember thinking to myself, man, like, why isn't there like a Steven Universe sock and bop 'em where it says Garnet's fist? If you can make Hulk hands, which are made of hard like silicone rubber, whatever the hell it is, why not make Garnet's fist from Steven Universe? Make that. I want that kind of sock and bop 'em. So it's just like weird toys like that, with a slight risk of injuring yourself, but who cares? There's still that very strong idea of girl, it's a female character, so therefore you can't make a toy for it because it'll be a girl's toy. And then I was also thinking to myself, man, freaking Amity Blight from Our House has like rocket fists that she shoots out. Like, I am so tempted to like go on eBay, find like one of the 16 variations of Hulk hands, and like just like customize it into like Amity's Abomination fist. Or maybe I could just like get it, use it as a template, and like make one myself from scratch out of the EVA foam. Put that on Etsy. These are ideas I think of, and I'm like, I don't got time for that, man. Well, technically I did. Technically I kind of do have time. We all have time if we push ourselves. It is true. I'm lucky. I don't have to worry about kids or wife right now. I'm a free roaming spirit, which is another word of saying I am sad and lonely. What it also means is that I got time to like do these projects. It's just I don't have the energy sometimes. As you know, the conversation myself and Kratorius Rex, my good friend Kratorius Rex, are always having is like, you know, we have all these, we have so many ideas. Why aren't we putting them out into the world? Like, what is wrong with us? We need to actually like get out there, put them out into the world, make the world see our genius. You know, doing drawings like this, people, sharing this with you, is part of it. What do you think of a sword that doubles as a water gun and a melee weapon? Like the edge will be all soft foam. So you can actually whack people with it. Just want to zoom in a little bit. You hit the button and it auto zooms to a certain point. Zippity doo dah, zippity doo. Sorry, I don't know why that popped into my head right now. I'm fully aware of the context, I'm fully aware where it comes from. But damn, it's a catchy tune. Who am I competing with tonight? I'm just looking at the streamers I follow. I'm looking at who's out right now. I really need to find some good stream music. This repetitive music, it is what it is, you know? I'm sure you guys are tired of this. And then every so often I'll find a nice playlist, and then there's one song in the playlist that is like YouTube doesn't care, but then like Twitch cares. So then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes is just dead silence in the video. That's why I talk so much. I hate silence. I don't hate silence, I hate awkward silence. There's a difference. flip it, see how weird it looks, flip it back, look at that. Ah, close enough. Come on, get closer. Closer to the table. Right in the face of the camera. What's going on? Okay. Oh, that's why. Trying to figure out why flipping it horizontally and flipping it vertically isn't working for me is because I literally have the screen shifted. Like the program doesn't know which way I want to rotate it. There we go. Justin. That's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. Who are you? There you are. Too many layers. Speaking of which, we shall combine said layers together to make the Uber layer. Damn, we could do something fun like... put some like random like wrapping cloth on it. That. Give a little bit of dimension. It's like, so this great drawing where it was like, don't do this, do this. And what they're referring to is when drawing women with stockings, give a little bulge right where the stocking meets the thigh. The little like sensation that the stocking is squeezing the hip. And everyone was like, absolutely. Even the most skinniest individual still has a little flex in the flesh. Granted, that particular thread on Twitter quickly got very thirsty all of a sudden, but the idea was still true. It makes a little difference. Little things like that make a difference. So, I said they're like plating, but let's assume it's more like foam grip. So, we're gonna still keep this pretty like loose in terms of like, we're not gonna be like extremely angular and trying to get everything right here. It's like little foam edges. But yeah, maybe I'll, like, if I'm juiced up and awake after the stream, which is only gonna go for a little bit longer, maybe I'll reach into the drawers down there, pull out that bag of all the supplies I bought from this like last summer, and see if I can hammer out this idea in the real world. See what we get out of it. Right here is where the potion bottle would sit. Do 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 do. And mind you, I'm hearing the music also delayed like you, so I'm humming along with it as you hear it. Can't have a sword gun without the actual trigger. And yes, I'm fully aware that discussions upon guns is very hot topic right now. Then again, I can't remember the last time someone died from a water gun, so hello. I say that, but I'm sure there's some goofball incident out there with some guy like used a high power like hose to kill himself by accident. Sure, it's out there somewhere. That's cut. No, I need you. That's not right. Blocking. Come here. Try this again. Copy, paste. There we go. That curve wasn't really well done. I have to be right there. We'll see. Nope. We're going to definitely do some adjustments here. See, if these were just like tendrils, like organic tendrils, it would be a lot easier than to try and do like coherent scale tubing, if that makes sense. But this is a pain in the butt. It was the same thickness all the way through. Like that's a pain in the butt. Trying to do like wire work like that. I forget his name. There's a Japanese, I believe he's still alive, Japanese animator who's just known for like doing wires and pipe work going in all directions and turning. He did the movie Metropolis. And like in that movie, there's just scenes where like wires are flinging in all directions. And apparently he just loves doing that stuff. And it's like, that would drive me nuts. Where is my... There it is. Just want to increase my microphone pickup. Unless I'm yelling, I sometimes just get drowned out by all the ambient noises from everything from my desktop to the fan in the background. Just doing some adjustments in OBS. You can't see it, but I can. It's magic. And yes, I know I can adjust the gain on my mic, but doing that once again picks up everything. I feel like I should do that. Thin out that piece, make it like the wires going into it, and there we go. All right. So here's like the general look of like the toy, with just pieces we don't need, like that back tubing, this the back tubing, the Mulia. Yeah, so like this, I'm using my eraser. There you go. So like, that's not needed. That's just for looks. This metal plate, what is that? I don't know. But yeah, that's like the concept at least of what I'm looking for. Let me canvas size. We're gonna pull you out a little bit. Let me back away from the screen so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna make some room. Not that much. Yeah, that should work. Because we are going to do something fun. So something like that. Yeah, because it's held by one hand. So that's about that ball. If the handle is held by one hand, that ball is about the size of like that. Like a grapefruit. Right? Right. Okay. How do you round off edges for the rectangle? If continuous curve, you have rectangle. Where's the option to do rounded edges? Brush size, opacity, brush shape. Here we go, brush shape. Whoa. Learn something new every day. Oh, these are small patterns, like doing a thing of hearts, doing a thing of dots. But not, it's airbrush, there's pencil, there's pen, but there's no like rounded edge. Fine. Fine. No. Then let's go for like that, right? Okay. Turn you sideways. And I want to do gentle curve on either side. Ever so gentle. There we go. Good. This is kind of like a plastic. This is a plastic container of like your average like water gun kind of container. They don't, if you ever go out and look at like, especially like cheap, dollar store water guns, they make it look like there's like round containers built into it, but in truth it's just like more like a pill-shaped container for the water, and the rest is just a plastic shell that makes you think there's like, because it's just like iconic. The Super Soakers had that big round ball on the back end of the Super Soaker. But you actually don't, like, if you actually buy like a cheapo toy and take it apart, you realize they don't build those anymore. Okay, so rotate. So first I'm gonna move your butt over here. Then I'm gonna move this right there and rotate it based on that. So let's see. Almost like a light bulb actually. Yeah, looks like it might be right. That looks like it'll be okay. There we go. Ooh, I just got it right. Like, I just got the scale right for this. Like, it's right there. Jesus. And how do I want to do this? I want to give it a little lip. That's the wrong pen. Wrong tool. Wrong tool again. I want you. Thank you. Fact, let us duplicate you. Rotate. Make this right side up. Just put it over here. Put it on this side. Okay. Zoom in for a minute. So just looking up a quick reference. Just looking up some quick reference on. Yeah, it should work. It's a very nice 3D model. I'm just going to copy image and paste it in. That is way too big. Just grabbing a quick 3D reference if I could, just get the proportion, not proportions, but like the angles and everything. Like transform, scale your butt all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Perfect. Just really simple. Turn you sideways, make it easier for me. It's like whenever I'm trying to draw like a spring, and if anyone's ever seen my videos on my character concept for the Clockwork Queen, I kind of fudge the springs. Yeah, look at me. I came up with a concept where the whole character exists in a world of like spring and clock technology, but I can't draw springs to save my life. It's like, had the idea, kind of fumbled on the fact that I couldn't actually, fully portray it. But that's why you do practice. But anyway, yeah, Clockwork Queen. You'll know that like, oh man, I am not really that good at drawing like springs and mechanical details like this. I love doing Transformer designs. Can't draw mechs to save my life though. The brush size so big. Thank you. I actually saw someone online, and I've seen it several times, where they're open for commissions, but they make it a point to say that they do not do mech. And some of the people I've seen are like really, really good artists. Like they probably could pull it off, but they're like, no, we won't do it though. I'll draw your character juggling chainsaws, but I would not draw a mech character. Ta-da! Happy Chew 3? Am I reading that right? Happy Chew. Thank you for dropping by. Hey, how's it going? Once again, a reminder to everyone who might be watching this. I can see the chats. I can see chat if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, when it comes to Picardo, I don't always see the chat. Like I have to switch back and forth on my tabs, and I just forget to do that sometimes. It's like Pikachu, right? It's like a Pikachu, but yeah. Excuse me. It is 10:01, and we pretty much just made the line. This is a general idea of this water gun sword I'm working on. Now, not shown here. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do the design right now. But essentially, yeah, I'm just gonna put it in. Why not? We are designing this like it's a. This is right between the toy concept and the animated concept. But right here, where this other arrow's at, is I don't know if you know what? No, I'm not gonna draw it. But essentially, when you turn this knob, it either shoots water forward or it has a spread that comes out like this. So you could, hit someone in the chest. Obviously, this whole section is made of a soft foam. So you whack them in the chest, and if you pull a trigger, it goes just like splashes them in the chest. While this part up here is a straightforward nozzle. You pump this in and out, which feeds pressure into your water container here, which then eventually comes up here and decides to go in one of two directions based on which way you turn the knob. That's the idea for that. That's the idea behind this. And for now, this is like, to be honest, I'm really happy with like, let me, you know what, first things first. Let me just lock and put that there. So let's go for bright blue. So pretty much all of this here, I'm actually really happy the way this looks. Like this, all of this design right here looks good. I'm also happy with this basic water gun spout. Originally all the water gun features were going to be hidden inside the blade. I had this idea where, let me switch to red. Essentially, all of this here would be a foam sword. Like all of this would be a foam sword, and then hidden would be a little nozzle right there. That way the person can also poke people with the foam sword, but kind of having the mechanical water gun at the end makes it look kind of even cooler. Will I keep that exact concept? I don't know. But I'm very happy with the hilt design. Like it just looks fun. Let me label this as B bottle. So that's the bottle. That's that. This is bottle A, as in like it's attached to the sword. And this is our main inks. That's our main ink. Lock that down. Then I have an extra layer for when I want to go back and do some more drawing. As I hit save. I think we're done for today. Last minute drop in from the chat. Thank you very much for saying hey, and I say hey back to you. I say hey. But yeah, kind of the idea for like this water gun weapon. And I think having the container right here makes it easier for the air pressure to build up when you pump it, as opposed to having a tube that goes from the handle all the way to a backpack. And like concept wise, once again, if you want to make it into a cartoon, it's like they're attaching light bulbs or they're attaching like alchemic chemicals into the sword, and it gives them the power to make typhoons and stuff. I think a nice way to look at this, there was a show I presume was Canadian. It didn't do well in the US, but I feel it was a Canadian show. And it was a show to advertise toys. In the show, was it Slugera? Essentially, someone said, hey, a slug is also another name for a bullet. So they had this Pikachu Pokemon Nerf gun idea where the main characters collect little slugs, and each slug was like different. They had like little fire slugs and little ice slugs. And they put the slugs in a cartridge and they put that into a gun, which was like a Nerf gun. And they would Slugterra. I think it was called Slugterra. And that was the whole gimmick. It was just like, hey intern, it was just like these guns that shot Nerf bullets, but the gimmick was that when you load the Nerf bullet, it looks like a container with a little slug inside of it. And it's kind of like that. It's pretty much just like I made this toy, but I'm designing it right here. I'm designing it right here as if it wasn't a cartoon. And like I said, originally I wanted the whole thing to have a soft foam, so you could poke and whack with the water gun features hidden on the inside. So we'll see how this goes. The handle I think I'm good with. I'm happy with the handle. And I want to say yes, we are done. We are done for this concept, people. I guess we didn't get to the other concept I was going to work on, which was, once again, artwork for my casual book idea. The Choose Your Own Adventure story of Twisted Tower. The Twisted Tower series is something I'm just working on the back burner. Whenever I get bored and whenever I have the urge to do some narrative writing, I work on that. But of course, it's a Choose Your Own Adventure book, and just trying to write that is super complicated. At least for me, because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I want to say we're done. Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for watching. Feel free to comment even after the fact. Tell me what you think about this. And yeah, once again, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.